Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ramir. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about things that I want to complain about. So this time, I want you to know there are many things to complain about, but in particular, it's how you treat me. I usually sit down like this. It's quiet. No one's here. I hear a car going by. So I get to listen inside of my mind. If I don't pray, then all those negative qualities, they just linger there and they just tear me away. Because a lot of people are wrong, even if they think they are not. We have to work on ourselves to be correct instead of believing that the correct way to seem is the correct way to be. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something different as far as a condition that comes with the general abstract of how people in general react to one another. So, for instance, if I'm walking past you, right, and you disapprove of me, you have the right to disapprove of me. You do. But if you do it to get my attention, to complete it, so I could realize that you disapprove of me, you're forcing me into something else. So after that, I could ignore you and say, well, that's just a person that disapproves of me. Or I could get mad and be like, you don't like me. But if I'm not paying attention, then I don't really realize. I choose not to, pay attention, then it doesn't exist. But when you force me to pay attention, you make me realize something negative about myself, and you make me emotionally distressed, right? All day long, people tend to have this type of quality about themselves that materialistically they've learned that the world is built upon these ideals that make what they like that. And so at some point we all are affected by one another's actions towards one another. And so I don't know, maybe I'm 6'4". It doesn't, people do not realize it. But, I get a sense that maybe because I'm tall and I can be on the slender side, that makes it seem like I might automatically be accepted in all the things and desires, the desire that each person has differently. That part that we want something that we didn't get and we long for it, so we just catatonically go extremely freaked out for not having. I feel like, people just kind of target the parts that are happy on other people as an excuse for what they're not getting from their desires. And being tall and slender seems like I'm gonna be acceptable as something else. So I get, oh well, he's a little tan, or he's a little hairy, or I kind of grew a beard, right? You can't just put this on. So I don't think I want you to really point that out, but it makes me kind of shy sometimes. It makes me want to go to the barber and try to dreadfully remove this beauty from my face. But that's one of the issues. I didn't really get to say anything correctly. What bothers me is that I go through a lot of these issues. And, it seems like some of the conditions within it, those issues that pertain to some of the suppressions about life, about people, and about the oppression of one to another, seems to take its course in them. You ever heard of a consortium? Consortium of things that go together, they come together, they have an autonomy, they morally make rational sense, or they're immoral, doesn't have any place there, you know? And so there becomes a consortium of these issues that come with suppression and oppression, and they become these devices that they're used against one another to give or have, to obtain. And people are spiteful. They're spiteful if they don't pray and they don't work on themselves, because they can kind of like take these things and use it against one another to prevent them from succeeding in life. So if I'm experienced at this, and I've been through this trial and tribulations, and I'm blessed to be able to have experience, and it makes me seem more successful, then it triggers other people to make them look like, they don't really understand the picture of life. When we can believe in each and every individual, we can believe in them, and they have that opportunity if they only work on themselves, pray, and all these beautiful things, like, to just manifest out of yourself. I know I get like from somebody that I'm really, really going through something with, they want to be so right. They want to feel better than you. They have to go through suppression to be who they want. How does that pertain to me if I'm not in the situation? What I do in my personal life shouldn't be taken apart because you're not having fun. And so it goes on to one person to the other, then things that, like friends of mine that shouldn't like me after, kind of like get the gist. It's like, from a group of people that use the consortium of these suppressions to pull you apart or whatever they're going through. It's not for those purposes, to harm other people. So then here you have one person, you have to use a third party as witnesses, or to get them to use them as devices to tear one another up. And then so what happens is the best of you becomes the best of somebody else. They learn to live life and be the best of your stuff instead of working on themselves. And it's all using, you have a beard, so that means what I see in you don't need it because you're hairy. That's your opinion. It could have been anything. You could have said I had a spot on my shoe and it would have still been the same experience. When you have the possibility to just work on yourself, just relax and just not have the experience. Learn the difference of your things from other people's. And that's why life is a territorial thing, and it comes with all these features to identify some things from the outside and from the inside. Masculine, feminine words, and languages. It's just a perfect example, to how to relate something to such a quality, to kind of territorialize and put fair where, they don't need to be. And so there's more to that. I've literally been stagnated in my life behind this clear conception of what I'm saying. You would have like a consortium of people that work in successful places, and that same consortium of having things that uses tactics, they create an environment of people that remember you for what that device is used, and their desire to set upon you to a quality to have people in that consortium respond to you to tear you apart. And so whether it could be the downtown police department or the court, or it could be a really, really good high-paying employer from a good corporation, you have a consortium of these issues. When they respond, you're getting their pre-consciousness becoming conscious as you as a messed up person, and they're sensing that from somewhere else instead of experiencing you as an individual that has nothing to do with those issues. So this is where it's at. Do I care if I'm hairy? I like being a hairy guy. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit hairy. Okay, I can work on my features a little more. But guess what? We're in a pandemic and the gym is closed. So I get to do that in the future, right? Work on that. Okay, I'm a little awkward on one side and a different on the other. But we can. What's that song? You are beautiful in every single way. I love it. You see, it's always something for something else. You can always fix things. Anyway, I'll talk on this differently some other time.